What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at the current coin market cap as well as an article I do have for review because I think it is quite important. So as you guys saw in the title and in regards to the charts today, I did take a look at them prior to making the video or prior to recording, and I'd like to say that there are some very interesting, shaky charts that I think we should go over because I think it is coming to an end and I do think that we should be ready for this. Otherwise, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. So, as you guys see, we're on the current coin market cap. I'd like to start off first with the Litecoin article prior to getting into the coin market cap and then the other cryptocurrencies. So, as you can see right here, Litecoin will skyrocket 100% against Bitcoin. So, what does that mean? What are they talking about? So it says Litecoin's recent block reward halving was supposed to be a bullish catalyst for the Litecoin price. Fortunately, the long anticipated event failed to help the struggle cryptocurrency rally against Bitcoin, which I kind of figured. I really did. Not only did Charlie Lee, kind of hint towards that, but if you noticed, a lot of people buy the rumor and sell the news, and it seemed to me like most people were going to be buying this rumor prior to the halving. They were buying Litecoin prior to the halving, and then when the halving finally came around, they kind of backed off. It didn't. What was expected to happen didn't actually happen. So instead it merely provided even more ammunition for Litecoin critics, which is definitely very true. Tons of people came out of the bush talking very negative towards cryptocurrency, Litecoin in specific, due to the fact that the halving didn't produce the same effect as people were expecting it to, or like it has in the past. So it says, I have no proof of this, but I think the owner of yada yada yada, you can read that right off there, not that important. It says, however, Trader Max, also known as Bitcoin Jack, the lead analyst of Bravado Trading, told CCN that he believes the Litecoin price is poised to surge or surge to 100% against Bitcoin. What does that mean? So from a short perspective, it appears that Litecoin to Bitcoin is hanging on for dear life. And I believe this is the chart right here. And then he says, however, Trader Max noted two bullish patterns that could ignite a massive rally. In conversion with CCN, an analyst noted the formation of a large bullish wedge on the 3-day chart. More importantly, the market is also printing a triple bottom pattern, suggesting that the long-term support of 700,000 Satoshis is intact. So this is a Litecoin to Bitcoin chart. I want to discuss later on in today's episode the Litecoin USD and the Bitcoin USD, watching them separately and seeing how they are kind of reacting with each other. So we said triple bottom support with sort of falling wedge of dropping value. We assumed this green level will act as a support again to see price bounce upwards as the invalidation is very close below the upside if an uptrend forms is quite large. So with that knowledge, he says that the prices and the predictions and the charts that he's looking at are currently looking to break bullish. So he sees that we're in some sort of complication where there's no volume and we're trading out sideways, and he's predicting that we are going to act bullish given the signs of strong support. So to scroll down, he says, how high can Litecoin climb? Based on this analysis, the Litecoin price could surge as much as 100% against Bitcoin from its present price near 700,000 Satoshis. Therefore, if you're interested in Litecoin, consider buying close to 700,000 Satoshis with a tight stop. So he's saying above that, Litecoin can climb as high as 1.4 million, which is more than $144 at the current exchange rate. Why did he, reference 144? Because that's where Litecoin's all-time high for 2019 was or is currently. You can see it's right around here, which is 144, sometimes 145, but you get what I'm saying. So I do want to jump into the charts and the coin market cap right now. Current market cap right now, 262, 51 billion in volume. Bitcoin down to 68.8%. Everything seems to be in red. Top 10 cryptos are all down. I'd say on average about 2%. Litecoin still holding number 5. Wow, there's about a $900 million lead against Bitcoin Cash. That's crazy. But the markets are in red. The markets are down. The markets are consolidating. Really not by much. There are some coins that are popping off right now. but for the most part, coins are in red and falling. So I want to discuss what that means falling to you guys, because that is a little different than some may think. I want to start off, so honestly, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum are the big topics for today's episode. We'll go into XRP as well. I don't even know where to start exactly, because Ethereum looks great, Bitcoin, Litecoin. I'm going to start with Ethereum, work my way back. Ethereum looks great, then we'll talk about Bitcoin, and then end with Litecoin. So as you can see on Ethereum's chart, so for those of you who are new, we know that we started off quite low on support right here. Very low, actually. And then we started to trade up. And we started to hit a bit of a pickle right up here. And you'll notice that this does hold quite well. That actually seems to be having some sort of resistance, with tons of confirmations that this does seem to be a strong downtrend. With the upside too, we do have this uptrend here with tons of confirmations that this is a very strong support that leads us to higher levels. So why am I showing you this chart, Ethereum, first when I normally show you Bitcoin or Litecoin? Well, here's the reason. Looking at Ethereum's chart, then going to Bitcoin and Litecoin, I'm noticing Ethereum's chart seems to hold better value or better support levels, comparing it to Bitcoin or Litecoin. And that's the biggest, takeaway from this episode. So what I mean by that is you want to look at all the different cryptocurrencies. Specifically, we're looking at Ethereum here, and you'll notice how beautiful this uptrend and resistance are. Resistance has really not had any candles closing their daily above the uptrend, mainly because it is a very strong resistance. And with that, we do have some wicks that do close above the candle, but for the most part, they, come back down and close their candle below the downtrend. And that same thing applies to the support. You'll notice on the support, we've had one wick that touched support. We had another candle wicked below, closed the candle up here, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, an eighth, a ninth. So that's wild to me that we've had 9 candles that did actually confirm a break below this major support level, but we indeed decided to break above that, which is quite interesting. We decided to close the candle above that, pretty much reaffirming to me that this is a very strong support. So with that being said, it seems like we're in a very critical spot right now. You can see we've pretty much filled in the last of the downtrend and the uptrend. This candle is quite important, and tomorrow will be the ultimate factor. So we're really looking for today's candle to close above, obviously, or close where it is currently. If at all we do decide to close today's candle above here, this will be the first candle that broke resistance. I don't recommend buying in if you're new at levels like this, where we're pretty much teeter-tottering on whether or not we're going to break up. So we're looking for that confirmation. If we can break and close today's candle below our support, it's usually an indication that we're going to rally down to lower levels, potentially 156, 158, in that pattern. So we're really looking for that confirmation. If we hold well and we break above here, we close above, we come up here and we close right over here, the following days I do believe we'll start to rally back up to this level that I'm drawing out right now, into this region, which is about I'd say about 220 all the way up to 240, 250. So a huge jump can be at play right now if we figure out which way we would like to break today's candle. Moving on to Bitcoin. So the reason I started with Ethereum is you can now see this is a little more complicated. It's a little bit harder to draw. Maybe I drew it on wrong, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but it looks to me like I have it about as accurate as it can get. There are some people that can probably differ from that. There seems to be some sort of major support, which I really don't see right now. No, there is no support there. So what I want to talk about now is the fact that you can see zoomed in on this candle, we managed to break out of this major ascending wedge that was also on, obviously, Ethereum. But you can see we're kind of trading outside of it. We're starting to have a little bit of problems as we trade out. We've closed below and we've had problems trying to break above it. And you'll notice right now there is a pretty small downwards wick. We could have broken back and started using this now. If I can get over onto this, we can potentially start using this resistance now as it needs the support, potentially climbing down lower. But you'll notice we're trading outside. And another crazy indicator is RSI is pretty much flatlined at 44.45. No volume, no movement, nothing. So we're coming down to like the final stretch. This is going to be it. We're either going to break down and potentially have a death cross where that red band crosses over the green and we tumble to quite low levels, or we start to see volume trickle in and we can close the candle above here, which should ultimately send us up to higher levels. So we are literally neck and neck to a major retracement to lower levels or a major rally to higher levels. So that's why I'm being very patient right now. I did tell you guys I did buy in, and I am still in. I normally recommend to wait this out right now, but I bought in right around here, so it looks to me like I'm kind of in this right now. I don't want to sell off. I'm just going to take a risk and see what happens. Now moving on to Litecoin. Litecoin, once again, although it does not have a beautiful uptrend like what is it, Bitcoin or Ethereum do? I'm trying to see if there could have been one. No, not really. What I am noticing is it does have that sideways volume like Bitcoin has. So even more so than that, Litecoin is practically flatlined on the RSI, trading at around 35. Yeah, around 35. It is extremely low, extremely undervalued. We're already below the high-low MMA. And you can see we've pretty much flatlined out at support here at around $72 to $73. So if indeed we hold well, which we seem to have broken out of the wedge, we're pretty much just being held down by Bitcoin's volume. So if any of these cryptos, if Ethereum gets the slightest bit of volume, if Bitcoin gets the slightest bit of volume, all the other coins are going to react positively with that. The fact that we're so undervalued, truthfully in my opinion, I do think it opens many doors to seeing Litecoin shoot up to levels we haven't seen in a long time. Now lastly, to wrap up today's episode with XRP, once again, it is trading out of its descending wedge, which is, it's just very interesting. Some may say it is, some may say it isn't. You could probably move this ever so slightly like that, and then we're still inside. So I honestly think we're still inside of it. I just fixed it a little bit, and you'll notice we're kind of hitting some resistance right now, once again, of our beautiful downtrend, which you can see we've had problems with for quite some time now. Then we had it again, and again. So we may be climbing down to lower levels with XRP. Obviously, if volume does move in, XRP will obviously shoot up to levels as high as 33 to 36. But for the most part, it seems like it has one of the strongest resistances out of the coins I reviewed, and it is ultimately pushing this coin down, and we may eventually see a 24-cent XRP token. Otherwise, guys, that's going to sum up today's episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.